Oh, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
KSI, he's a hypocrite, but I probably didn't need to tell you that. So I hate to break this to you, but KSI's ego, it might have got the better of him. As you all probably know, he had one of the most boring YouTube fights of all time with Tommy Fury. I did a video on how disappointing the event was a couple of days ago, and sadly, I'm not the only one that's been set up for disappointment here. I hate to break it to you, Mia, but it's not going to go the way you think. He'll talk a big game before, but ultimately, he's just going to hug you. And despite all the talk, hugging you is the only thing he's going to do. But yeah, as I said, KSI actually lost that fight. It was 6 rounds of 2 blokes hugging. Who said love was dead? But at the end of it, KSI did get the decision from the judges, and he wasn't happy about it. And KSI, he wasn't the only person that thought this. There was at least 3 people in the arena that thought he won. Well, 3 people outside of the group of people that directly benefit from being around him.
You should feel disgraceful.
Alright, never mind guys. Logan Paul's manager, a guy that is a direct business associate of KSI through Prime. Well, he said the judges should feel disgraceful, and obviously there's no bias coming from him, so I'm gonna have to believe him in everything he says. But yeah, in all seriousness, the aftermath of the fight was just about as boring as the fight itself. KSI, in true KSI fashion, he went mental and started throwing a fit.
Even though Tommy Fury won it, it was a loss because he said he was going to knock out. Control it, KSI, come on.
Even this presenter, who is basically employed to make him feel good about himself, he's a little bit like, oh, come on, mate, you're pushing 30. But jokes aside, in fairness to KSI, he did do himself justice. Like, love him or hate him, he's not a pro boxer, but Tommy Fury is supposed to be, and of course, he is not. He's only even here because of his name. But he did go toe-to-toe with him, he gave him a good fight, even if his game plan was boring. I'm not here to criticise his boxing ability. I don't think he won the fight, but he did put out a respectable showing. The problem here is his conduct, his behaviour, and the way he's reacted afterwards. And when you extrapolate this behaviour to everything that he stood for in the past, the only conclusion you could really come to is that he's a complete hypocrite. So the crux of this video is that he has appealed the decision, and I guess in isolation this isn't inherently a bad thing, but when you take into account everything that he stood for and said about the Logan Paul fight, for example, this is where the problem comes in, and he just looks like an absolute hypocrite. So in this video we're going to go through a few clips, and I think for the sake of the comparison, every time he says Logan Paul, just pretend he's saying KSI.
I know you keep saying that it doesn't feel like you lost.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way, bro.
But Logan, you lost. And it's taken you about a week for it to slowly seep in. And now you're starting to realize that you lost. And you just can't take it, can you?
So with this clip, the comparison is almost perfect. So he's criticising Logan here for taking a week to file an appeal, and that's exactly what he's done as well. It's been a week since the fight, and this is when he's appealed. We might be living in a simulation because it almost feels like a written storyline. Because he's not just being hypocritical here, he is following what Logan did, almost action for action.
Eventually, you get overconfident. You get lost in your ego. And now that reality has settled in, you simply can't accept it.
So this almost feels like a direct consequence of surrounding yourself with yes men. And the thing about surrounding yourself with yes men is the person at the top, they normally don't realise. And sadly, it kind of is like a basic principle of people that have success. People want to be around these people like KSI so they can benefit from this success. And the best way to stay around someone like this is to kind of fuel their ego. But you have to do it in like an implicit way. It's like that Mike guy that kicks around Logan Paul. He'll like kind of go up against him on trivial stuff to kind of give the illusion that he's not a yes man. But ultimately, when push does come to shove, he's always going to be there to prop up his bullshit. And clearly, from these clips, KSI suffers from the same thing. Because when you have your bullshit kind of reinforced to you every single day, it becomes your new truth. Well, in his defense, at least he did win gracefully in his last challenge and fight before the Fury one. At least he didn't gloat, because if he had gloated, this would look a whole lot worse.
Oh my god! No way! Your appeal got denied? No! I did not see this coming! Oh my god! Wow, I really thought that your appeal would get through!
KSI, buddy, I'm trying to have you back here. You're not making it easy. But all of this, I feel like it only comes down to one thing. Your favourite YouTuber, he probably doesn't care. He might not be principled, he might be just saying things for views and attention. KSI, he's never given us reason to believe this before. There was that one time where he got caught pirating Sony Vegas and then had a go at people for pirating his movie. It's almost like the principles only come in when it affects his bottom line. But I don't know, man, maybe that's just a coincidence. But you know what? Maybe I'm being cynical. Maybe he does care. Random person on YouTube who is going to comment defending him, I'm sure he cares about you. I guess if the things you're saying are insincere, you can't technically be a hypocrite. It's like this video. Do I care about this or do I not? Well, I guess you'll never know.